Hello and welcome to the Feather on Football podcast with me, Luke Feather. This week I'm joined with Man United fan Tommy Arsenali. How are you, Tommy?
Good, thanks. Pleasure to be on.
Nice. Right. So this week I just thought we'd have a chat about Man United.
Yeah.
Obviously last night, not an easy game. I know it was pretty much a second string team, but 2-1 win.
Yeah.
What are your thoughts on that?
Well, I mean, we weren't great. For some players, it was like try and go out there and prove yourself. So a Lingard, McTominay, maybe even a Bailly instead of Lindelof. But I mean, we were rubbish. We were rubbish until second half. And
Yeah.
then Marshall comes on and grabs us a nice winner.
I think that might be a running theme with Man United. When you've been playing your first team, it's all looked very fluid with Bruno and Pogba and the rest. But when you've got this second string out, it just sort of exposes your lack of squad depth.
It is. Our squad depth is shockingly bad. And for the start of the season, we literally had to put up with that. And in January, no Rashford, no Marshall. That was our team. And it just shows how far some players have actually come.
Yeah, agreed.
Some players have improved a lot. But...
Yeah. So as for the Europa League, you've gone through now 7-1 and I agree. In the end, comfortable.
Yeah.
So how do you rate your chances in the Europa League? Obviously, you've still got big teams like Inter Milan, who are probably the second favourites after yourself.
Yeah. Well, I thought he'd played more youth last night. I thought he'd play like a James Garner. I thought that Mengi would start. But clearly he wants to win it. He's come out and said he wants to win it, which is fair news. We need experience at winning things. There's not many in the squad, other than maybe a Pogba, De Gea's, players who have won Europa League and FA Cups a few years ago with Van Gaal. That winning experience will be key. Do I think we'll win it? Recently we've looked shaky. Last few games in Premier League we looked shaky against Palace, Southampton, struggled against Leicester but got through. I'm worried about Wolves. Yeah. If we end up getting Wolves, I'm worried about Wolves. We haven't beaten this year other than FA Cup replay, which were all 1-0. Don't know. Lukaku, of course, is on form with Inter as soon as he leaves us. It'll be strange. I'd like to get to a final. Do I think we can win it? Maybe.
I would say about your recent form. Obviously, it's not just Man United because since the restart, it's been hectic with games like every 3 or 4 days or something. You have looked a little bit leggy, but that's to be expected probably. So that might be a factor.
Well, towards the end of Solskjaer said that he was like, so many games on trot, FA Cup as well. We look leggy. I mean, we run Bruno to ground. We'd run Bruno ground.
Yeah, I think him being rested last night was good for him.
Yeah, definitely. Surprised Maguire didn't get rested.
Yeah, well, I was going to say about your centre backs. It's only really you've got Bailey, Maguire, Lindelof.
Lindelof, Maguire, that Tendai Mengi. We ain't got many. Not many.
So we've mentioned him briefly already, but Bruno Fernandes. The impact that he's had since he's come in, 14, 15 points behind Chelsea when he came in. And what an impact he's had.
Nice. Without him, we don't get top 4. No way. The difference he made in them first few games when he was fresh and then went restart, the difference he made was, I mean, we had Lingard playing there. No offence to Lingard, but Bruno's a much better player than him.
Well, he scored last night, Lingard.
He's the player. Yeah. Scored on final game as well. Yeah, I should stick up for him a bit more. Nah, but he's a completely different player, Bruno.
He just sort of makes everything tick, doesn't he?
I never thought one player could change how our team looked. In January, if you don't bring him in, you look at our team and you go, we need 4 or 5 players. I still think we need 4 or 5 players, to be honest. But with him in, it's like, what a side. We look like a side. We look like a danger.
Yeah. So would one of those 4 or 5 players be Jadon Sancho by any chance?
I hope so. I like it to be.
Journalists
are like that.
I like its performance of chocolat and chocolat.
Oh yeah, cheers, Alexa.
Right. So obviously the rumours are surrounding Jadon Sancho. Apparently, if you believe what you've seen on Twitter, the contract's agreed. one of the reported wages is 340 grand a week,
Yeah, I saw that.
which is a bit ridiculous for a 20-year-old, in my opinion. But hey,
Oh, but there were them rumours about it before tax and all this. I don't know what that all means, though. Because, like, De Gea's on 350 grand a week, but I don't know what that means for tax. God knows. God, that's
obviously
crazy.
wages are a little bit more free now. Sanchez has left finally,
Yeah.
but with Jadon Sancho, how do you see him fitting straight into the team? Because obviously on that right hand side, on the right and left, you've had Greenwood and Rashford in recent weeks. So, what does this mean for Greenwood? Do you think?
The thing is, Greenwood has just turned 18.
Yeah.
I think he turns 19 in October, November time. We can't expect him, like we can't expect Dan James, because he's young, to play every single game. But the thing is, with Sancho coming, yeah, he'll play that right, but Greenwood, all throughout his youth, striker, because he can go onto his left, onto his right. So let's say Sancho gets injured, Greenwood goes right wing. Marshall gets injured, you either put Rashford up front, Sancho left, Greenwood right, or you put Greenwood up front. Rashford gets injured. We bring Sancho in, we've got options. You've got options with Dan James as well, although I don't think he's good enough. You've got the option.
So
it gives us. You know,
I was going to say with Dan James, are you writing him off that early, or are you saying he's not good enough yet?
No. I wish we had a bit more squad depth. Yes, we've got Mata, but his legs are gone.
He
He's a
can't play
brilliant
out wide.
technical player. No, his legs are gone. Thing is with Dan James, yes, he's young. I'm worried though because I've watched him recently, and it seems like he gets the ball, kicks it, runs, don't even look into the box and sticks the ball in.
I think that's just a learning process.
Yeah, it is. I'd like him to go on loan to another Premier League club, maybe lower down, but I don't think we've got enough depth to do that.
Yeah, I agree. I think again, I think in some games he's a useful player to have off the bench because if you're thinking sort of the last 10 minutes, teams might start to get a bit leggy. You bring Dan James on, a fullback's not going to want to be going up against him. No. So I think he's a useful player for the squad, but like you said, I don't think he's there yet.
No, he's not a starter. He was never really brought in to start, but we have no other options.
Yeah.
That's the issue.
So moving on to something that's been debated pretty much all season. Obviously, David De Gea has not had the best of years, not lived up to his usual standards. And while that's been going on, you've got your own on-loan goalkeeper, Dean Henderson. It's been arguably one of the best keepers in the league at Sheffield United. Where do you stand on that?
It's such a touchy subject. I'll never, with De Gea, I'll never slate him. I'll never go, leave our club now, he should never start. Because he could have left Real Madrid and won 4 Champions Leagues. Well, he would have if a fax machine wouldn't have helped us out. For years, he was our best player, and we would have been bottom half. Yes, goalkeeper, your main thing is confidence. You need confidence as a goalkeeper, and he's lost it. He's lost it all. It looks like how he was when he first joined, which is sad, but with Henderson, go on.
I was going to say, with De Gea, especially if Man United are wanting to go back to, really start to push Liverpool and Man City again, they don't really have room to be sentimental about the players. They have to be ruthless and say, look, you're not performing. We need to move you on. Because how old is it? It must be about at least 30.
I agree.
Must be 30, 31.
Hey.
Yeah.
No, he's younger than 30, I'm telling you.
Right. Well,
he's
a lot older than Dean Henderson, who's got his best years ahead of him.
Yeah.
He's got his best years ahead of him, can still grow as a player. Honestly, I think it's just time to cash in on De Gea. And then, because you can't, I know he's been so good for so many years, but as soon as if your keeper makes a mistake, it's a goal. Like, it's not as bad for...
the worst position,
yeah.
If you make a mistake, you're done.
Yeah, you're completely isolated. You're on your own. Like you say, he looks absolutely shot for confidence compared to what he has been for the last 5, 6, 7 years, whatever it's been. I just think it's time to cash in.
With De Gea, it's like, I want to call it sentimental value, but it's not. It's like your child, or it's like an old grandma. It's like you look at him and it's like, I can't ever hate you because of what you've done. Other Man U fans will think different. I know other Man U fans do. But for me, it's like, I know how good he is. I know how good he can be. I'd say to him, one more year. Hopefully, Henderson can sit on bench, but I don't think he'll do that.
No,
Hopefully,
for a keeper of his age, you can't be sitting on the bench.
no.
He
But
needs,
I don't
he
know,
needs a run.
like, Romero started every FA Cup game. I think if Ole has a chat with Henderson and says, look, you'll start every cup game, maybe even a few league games if the hair is being dodgy. But what you say to him is, Day is on his last thin ice. And if he doesn't perform, you're in. Simple
Right.
as that. If I was Henderson, it's his boiled club, I'd take it.
Yeah, I just think with Henderson, he just needs reassurances more than anything, because he's come out and said
Yeah.
he does seem to like it at Sheffield United, but I think
yeah.
he doesn't want to be on loan. Like, he'd rather either permanently be at Sheffield United or come back to Man United or move somewhere else and have a permanent home. He's fed up of being just loaned out, I think.
Yeah, he needs that stability to know what he's doing.
Yeah. Right. So another position that's been talked about quite a lot at Man United for years, to be honest, is a centre back. Obviously, last year you brought in Harry Maguire, and your first choice centre back partnership seems to be Lindelof and Maguire.
Yeah.
Bailey, I thought, did all right last night.
Yeah.
But I think it goes back down to that squad depth thing. Do you think you need another player to come in and play alongside Maguire, or do you think you need, or would you have someone come in and just be back up to Lindelof and Maguire?
No, we need someone next to Maguire. If we really want to challenge, which I hope Ole does, we need someone next to him. But it's who you get. A left-footed centre-back. Ake's just gone to City.
They're very rare.
I mean, there isn't many. We were linked with that Gabriel. Don't know much about him, but he's from French league, and I always worry if players from French league.
There's always that question mark over players in the French league. But yeah, so
you know what? Lindelof recently hasn't been that bad. Against Leicester, he was brilliant. I feel like he's not next to Maguire. He's not the quickest. You need a big lad who can run, who's quick.
Yeah. So yeah, I've said this about Man United centre-back partnership ever since Maguire and Lindelof, especially since the restart against Tottenham in that first game where Bergwijn just ran in a straight line pretty much.
Yeah.
If you just run at those centre-backs, they will struggle because they're not the quickest. Just lump a ball up to them and they'll head it all day long. But if you run at them, they will struggle.
Yeah, because Maguire can turn like a tractor at times, but he's a leader. He is a leader, and I think he's been brilliant for us this year.
Yeah. But one centre-back who could be coming back is Chris Smalling. Obviously, he's just been out on loan at Roma. By all accounts, have a decent year. But would you take him back, or is it stuck in the memory of Man United fans what he was? He was good at times for Man United, but he had a lot of shockers as well.
Man U fans have two memories of Chris Smalling. It's Louis van Gaal, Chris Smalling, Mike Smalling. Who was absolutely quality. Looked like it was brilliant, but also got helped out because we played like Burnley.
Yeah.
Just our structure was everyone back. And then you've got the Chris Smalling who always seemed to get sent off against City and pulled in shocker after shocker. But then at Roma, of course, like most of our players who seem to leave, giving us stunners. It's a tricky one. I mean, because of the Europa League, I'm not sure how many friendlies we'll have. What is our pre-season going to look like? I don't think there will be one. I think it'll be after Europa League, have a week off, and then we'll back at it.
Yeah.
So, I mean, you can test them out in friendlies. I suppose it's Ole's decision. It's hard. I'd bring him in mainly because of depth. Bailly gets injured every week. You never know with Bailly. He's good, but his injuries have done him. And we can't be looking at centre-backs thinking, let's play Matic at centre-back. That's an option. No, it's not. Need depth.
I always think it's difficult to try and buy for depth because you don't look at a player. I always think it's difficult to say, oh, I'd like him in the squad, because that's almost like saying he's not good enough for the first team.
First team.
So what happens if someone in the first team gets injured? Say Maguire gets injured, and then you've signed this player who like even the coaching staff don't think he's good enough for the first team. It's just a squad depth. So I think it's a difficult one.
Well, we've sort of got lucky this year because Maguire didn't miss a minute. He played every single game, which fair play to him. It's unbelievable. If he gets injured, I can't think of a player who comes in and does that job.
No.
There isn't one because we ain't got one. Phil Jones, he's always injured. Forgot about him.
Yeah,
But
I completely forgot about
he
him.
has to go. He has to go. He has to go.
I feel like Man
Exactly.
United fans have been saying that for a good few years now. I feel
At
like
least 6.
he's done. I think Ollie he's done a good job of shifting
Getting
players.
rid of people. Yeah.
I mean, Sanchez has gone. I mean, we were talking about this earlier. Probably the worst signing in Premier League history, in my opinion, in terms of value for money.
Yeah.
So he's gone. Smalling went out on loan.
Rojo.
Ro's coming back. Rojo. So
Fellaini.
do you think Phil Jones could be next?
I hope so, but I don't think I can't see anyone who would take him if I'm being honest. He'll be on at least 80 grand a week at Man U, and he'll expect that wherever he goes, and no one's going to pay it.
Yeah.
And we've just given him a new contract. So
Yeah, that was one of the bizarre moments of the season for me. You just give him a 5-year deal.
I know, and that would probably be the worst thing for Solskjaer Club. You give him a fat. Oh, can't. Shocking.
Right. So moving on to other transfer rumours that have been online and in the media. Raul Jimenez from Wolves. I'm not sure how much legs this story has to it, but it is a story. Would you take him?
Yes, but like you said, I don't know how much legs to it, and he's 29 years old. I don't want to be paying 60 million for him.
No.
Because Marshall's our starting striker, and he's been brilliant. Is he going to come in and want to play every week like he does at Wolves? You know, he's playing Europe. Well, he won't, but yes, I'd take him, but for the right price.
Yeah, I think it's going to be difficult to buy off Wolves as well, because Wolves are one of the emerging teams in the league who are trying to push. I mean, they're trying to push for. They were unlucky to finish 7th this year, I think, but
yeah, definitely.
They are still pushing for Europa League. Obviously, they're still in it this season. I think it's a real project at Wolves, and if they are looking to push for top 6, top 4, then they can't be selling to Premier League rivals, really.
Well, I think they will. I give them a few years. I think their manager's brilliant. They've got a great system, great structured system. If you sign the right players, they'll be up there.
Seems like a really well-oiled machine. Wolves, like they haven't.
Yeah.
None of their players are particularly flashy. I know you have got players like Adama Traore who gives you something a bit different, but everyone just seems to know their job and just executes the plan.
Although there's probably about 3 of them who are English. Yeah. They are very grounded, work hard, know their job, and they do the job very well.
Yeah, I agree. Right, so just to finish, obviously we've touched on it a little bit with the squad depth thing. If you look at your first 11, are you still wanting to sign players to come straight into the first 11? And if so, who would you want to sign? Or just what squad players would you want to sign?
Yes, Matic, although he's been brilliant this year. Last year, I was saying get him out. Ole has done very well at changing a few players, but he's getting on now. I'd love a CDM, whether that be Ndidi. I think he's brilliant. I think Declan Rice is a good player.
Yeah, it goes back with Ndidi. It goes back to that thing about Wolves. It's like Leicester; they are in the top. Oh no, sorry, they're not the 5th. But they are. They were pushing for the top 4 all season. I think they spent pretty much the whole year in the top 4.
They did.
So I don't think they're not going to want to let Ndidi go. He's still a good age. He's only 23, 24, something like that.
Oh, he's young.
Yeah, and again, it goes down to if you want to be in the top 4, you can't be selling your best players. So
no. Well, I say Declan Rice, but I just know West Ham will want 60, 70 million for him. We're not paying. If we dare pay that much for him, it's a joke.
Yeah.
I mean, we touched on centre back as well, but I don't know how else to time.
Yeah, I'm surprised. I think Arsenal have been the most linked with him, but Thomas Partey at Atletico Madrid, he's got a release clause of about 40-odd million, 45 million.
I've never watched him play, so
by all accounts, again, he's had a decent season. I've watched him a few times, but yeah, I'm surprised no one's really gone in for him.
No.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Right. Well, this has been the Feather and Football podcast. Thanks, Tommy, for joining me.
It's all right.
And yeah, if you enjoyed it, then leave a like, subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you next time.